The story begins with an atmosphere thick with tension, where the coldness of space matches the chill in the heart of every human watching. The camera zooms in on a Galactic Empire warship, a towering structure made of cold, gleaming metal. It's a prison, not just for the countless enemies of the Empire, but for humanity itself. Inside, the air is harsh and sterile, with blue lights flickering across metal walls, creating an eerie feeling that something dark and dangerous lurks behind every corner. Alien soldiers, tall and menacing, patrol the corridors. Their eyes, cold and emotionless, flick over the prisoners they guard. But the most disturbing sight is not the soldiers. It is the human child, shackled and beaten, trapped aboard this fortress of cruelty. This innocent child, no older than 10, has become a tool in the Empire's cruel hands. The child's cries echo through the ship, their sobs amplified through speakers that broadcast the sound across the galaxy. The entire Empire is using the pain of one human to send a message. Humans are weak, and they will break under the pressure. It is a tactic the Empire has used countless times, an unprovoked attack, torture, and a message to the galaxy that humans are nothing more than pawns in the Empire's game. But this time, the Empire has made a fatal mistake. On Earth, the human command center watches in horror. The monitors show the child, bruised and bloodied, but still alive. A group of Earth's most powerful warriors, commanders and soldiers gather in the command room, their faces hard with anger and disbelief. Among them is a woman who stands frozen, staring at the screen. Her heart races in her chest, and her hands tremble with fury as she watches the child suffer. The woman is the mother of the child on the screen, and the pain in her heart is unbearable. Her tears fall, but she quickly wipes them away, her face hardening with determination. Behind her, the leader of the human fleet stands tall and imposing, his eyes fixed on the screen. He turns to the woman and places a hand on her shoulder, offering silent support. Without speaking, he knows exactly what must be done. The entire room is filled with a deep, almost unbearable silence. All eyes are on the woman, the mother who has now become the symbol of humanity's rage. She steps forward, her voice low but clear, as she turns to the leader of the fleet. "We're going to show them what hell really is." Her words are simple, but they carry the weight of an entire planet behind them. The room is filled with a sense of purpose now. No longer is the situation one of helplessness. This is a call to arms. The anger that has burned in the hearts of every human being is now a raging fire, and it will not be extinguished. The child's suffering has ignited something in the humans, a burning desire for vengeance, for justice, and for the protection of those they love. The universe is about to learn why it's a mistake to underestimate humanity. As the camera zooms out, the scene shifts to Earth's military command center. The hum of machinery fills the air as Earth's most advanced technology comes to life. The warships that had been waiting, dormant, are now being activated. The soldiers, who had once believed they were fighting for a cause, but never imagined a fight like this, are now preparing for something greater than they had ever dreamed. The mother, still standing at the front, watches as the fleet begins to mobilize. The sleek, black warships hum to life, their engines roaring in the distance. These are not just ordinary ships. They are equipped with the latest technology the Empire has never seen before. Cloaking devices, AI systems, and advanced weaponry, all crafted with one purpose in mind: to strike back at the Empire and show them that humanity is not to be trifled with. Earth's forces are preparing for the largest, most dangerous mission in human history. Their targets are set: the heart of the Galactic Empire, the very place where the child is being held. The mission is more than just a rescue operation. It is a message to the Empire, to the entire galaxy. Do not mistake us for weaklings. But the conflict isn't just about revenge. It's about survival. The Galactic Empire has ruled over countless planets, crushing any who dare to defy them. For centuries, they've believed they are the supreme force in the galaxy, untouchable and unstoppable. To them, Humans are nothing but a minor inconvenience, a weak species, easily wiped away by their superior technology and vast fleets. But the Empire is wrong. Humans are not weak. Humans are resilient. Humans fight for what they believe in, no matter the odds. The warship's cold, metallic halls seem to close in around the child, who has endured far more than any being should ever have to endure. His body is weak from the abuse, but his spirit, like the spirit of humanity, is unbroken. The child's face is bruised, but in his eyes burns a fire that will not be extinguished until his captors have paid for their cruelty. The mother's anger burns with every passing second. She has trained her whole life for a mission like this, but no amount of preparation can prepare her for the sight of her child, alone and afraid, in the hands of those who would break him. As she watches the screens flicker to life, she knows that this mission will not just save her son. It will be the beginning of a new chapter for humanity. The Empire may think they can control the galaxy with fear, but humanity's strength lies in its will to fight, to protect, and to never back down. On the Galactic Empire's warship, the child's cries continue, echoing through the empty halls. The Empire's soldiers, cold and uncaring, move past him, indifferent to the suffering they've caused. They have underestimated the power of a mother's love and the power of a species determined to protect its own. The humans are coming, and they will show the Empire that the pain they've caused will come back to them tenfold. The camera cuts back to the human fleet, where the soldiers are taking their positions. The warships are ready, cloaked and silent, hidden in the shadows of space. The crew is silent now, focused, knowing that this is their only chance. They have one shot to make a difference, one shot to send a message to the Empire. The engines of the ships hum as they prepare to make their move. The time has come. In the distance, the stars twinkle in the blackness of space, but there is no peace here. This is the calm before the storm. The stage is set for an epic clash between two civilizations, one that believes it is untouchable, and one that will stop at nothing to prove that it is stronger than the stars themselves. The child's screams are still echoing in the dark, but soon they will be replaced by the sound of humanity's victory. The Galactic Empire has made a terrible mistake, and they will learn just how wrong they are when humanity comes for them. The scene shifts to Earth's command center, where the air is thick with anticipation. A massive display screen takes up an entire wall, showing a fleet of warships, their outlines barely visible beneath advanced cloaking technology. The human fleet is almost invisible to the naked eye, a silent shadow waiting to strike. The fleet, made up of humanity's finest warriors and most advanced technology, is ready. Every ship, every soldier, and every piece of equipment has been meticulously prepared for this moment. It is a moment that will change the course of history, one way or another. At the front of the command center, the mother now stands, no longer just a grieving parent, but the leader of a special task force. Her face is hard with determination, but her eyes are filled with the same pain and anguish that has driven her since she first saw her son in the hands of the Galactic Empire. She is not just leading a rescue mission, she is leading humanity's fight for justice. Her voice rings out, sharp and focused as she addresses the team of seasoned warriors and AI experts who stand before her. "We are not just fighting for victory here," she says, her eyes scanning the faces of the men and women before her. "We are fighting for every innocent life the Empire has taken, and we're fighting for my son. This mission is personal." Her voice trembles slightly as she says the last part, but she quickly regains her composure. "We are not just warriors. We are the voice of those who cannot fight for themselves, and we will show the Empire what happens when you underestimate humanity." The room is silent for a moment, the weight of her words sinking in. Each person in the room knows what is at stake. They are not just soldiers, they are the last line of defense for all that humanity holds dear. The warriors who stand before her are the best of the best, each one trained in the deadliest combat techniques, each one equipped with the latest technology, and each one determined to succeed. But even with all their training, all their weapons, the odds are stacked against them. The Empire's forces are vast, their technology superior, and their resolve unyielding. Yet the humans have one thing the Empire does not: the element of surprise. The Mother begins outlining the plan in precise detail. The Empire's shields are nearly impenetrable. We know that. But we've developed a new kind of weapon. AI-driven drones capable of bypassing their shields. We will strike them where they least expect it, in the heart of their defenses. Cloaking devices will ensure that we approach undetected. We have one shot at this, and it has to be perfect. The AI experts in the room nod in agreement, their fingers already flying over touchscreens as they prepare the final calculations. The cloaking devices have been specially designed to bend light and sound around the warships, making them invisible to both radar and visual detection. The AI drones, programmed with advanced algorithms, will target weak points in the Empire's ship systems, giving the humans a chance to break through the shields and take the warship down from within. It's a plan born from desperation, but it's also one fueled by a deep desire for justice. The warriors, each a veteran of countless battles, know the risks. They will be outnumbered, heavily outnumbered, and their enemies are more advanced than they could ever have imagined. But they know what is at stake. They know that if they fail, the suffering of countless innocents will continue. And they know that failure is not an option. The Mother's eyes harden as she looks over her team. She can see the determination in their faces, but she also knows that they are all carrying their own burdens. Every one of them has lost someone to the Empire's cruelty, and every one of them has something to prove. This mission isn't just about defeating the Empire. It's about taking back their dignity, their families, and their future. As the final preparations are made, the Mother's thoughts turn inward, and the story of her son unfolds in her mind. She remembers the day he was taken. He was just a child, no older than 10, and they had been a family like any other. She had never imagined that one day the Galactic Empire would come to her door and take her son away. It was a quiet night when the soldiers arrived, the sound of their ships barely audible against the night sky. But when the door was kicked down, everything changed. The child had been ripped from her arms, his cries echoing in the dark as she was forced to watch. The Mother had fought, but there had been too many of them, and they had taken him, her son, her flesh and blood. Now, as she stands before her team, the memory of that night drives her forward. The pain she feels is like a fire in her chest, fueling her determination to see this through. This mission is not just for her son. It is for every person the Empire has ever wronged. The Mother is not just a victim. She is a warrior, and she will stop at nothing to bring her son back. The moment is heavy with emotion, but there is no time for sentimentality. The team knows the plan, and they begin to take their positions. The warships, now fully cloaked, move silently through the darkness of space. They are invisible to the naked eye, their sleek black surfaces blending seamlessly with the stars. Each ship is armed to the teeth, with weapons that will turn the tide of battle in humanity's favor. The cloaking devices hum quietly, and the AI drones are ready to be deployed at a moment's notice. The fleet's first target is a heavily fortified outpost in the Empire's territory, one that the Empire believes is impenetrable. It is here that the child is being held, in a holding cell deep within the ship. The outpost is surrounded by the Empire's most advanced warships, but humanity's forces are determined. The battle will be fierce, and the risks are high, but the stakes could not be greater. As the fleet moves closer to its target, the tension rises. The soldiers are silent, focused, and ready. Their eyes are fixed on the screens, watching as their warships glide through the blackness, undetected. Each passing second brings them closer to the Empire's stronghold, closer to the child, and closer to their destiny. In the cold vacuum of space, everything seems to slow down. The warships are so close now, their engines barely making a sound, and the soldiers prepare for what comes next. They have one chance to succeed, one chance to prove that humanity is not to be underestimated. The plan for vengeance is set into motion, and the Empire will soon learn that there is no force stronger than the will of a mother who will stop at nothing to save her child. The final phase of the mission is upon them. The human fleet, a sleek armada of cloaked warships, is poised to launch a strike that could shake the very foundations of the Galactic Empire. As the fleet moves closer to its target, the tension in the command center is palpable. Every soldier, every crew member, every officer is aware of what's at stake. This isn't just a military operation. It's a fight for survival, for justice, and for the lives of countless innocent beings, including the child who has suffered beyond imagination. At the helm of this operation is the human commander, a tall, commanding figure with a reputation for toughness that has been earned on countless battlefields. His face is set in a mask of determination, but beneath the hardened exterior is a deep well of compassion. He has seen the horrors of war, and he knows that the battle they're about to face will be unlike anything they've ever experienced before. He's no stranger to loss, but the stakes of this mission are personal. The child's cries echo in his mind, and the thought of the pain the child has endured steels his resolve. He looks around at his team, his crew, his warriors, each one of them as battle-hardened as he is, but each one carrying their own weight, their own fears. The camaraderie between them is undeniable. They've been through hell together, and now they're about to face even greater dangers. Some of them may not make it out alive. The risks are high, but the mission has been set into motion, and there's no turning back. The commander moves through the warship's preparation bay, where soldiers are loading the final high-tech weapons into place. The machines hum with energy as the fleet prepares for its assault. Every soldier, whether human or AI-driven, checks their gear with meticulous care. They are not just preparing for a battle. They are preparing to send a message to the Empire. The mission is clear. Destroy the Empire's forces, save the child, and make them regret underestimating humanity. An AI-controlled robot soldier, one of the many advanced machines working alongside the human warriors, steps forward. It is sleek and imposing, its mechanical limbs moving with precision as it analyzes the tactical situation. The robot speaks in a calm, neutral tone, offering its tactical advice. Commander, based on the Empire's known defenses, I recommend an approach from the planet's outer atmosphere. This will allow us to bypass their planetary shields and give us a better chance at taking out their orbital bombardment systems. The commander listens carefully, but knows better than to rely solely on technology. He's seen how the Empire has adapted its defenses time and time again, and he understands that instincts and experience can often mean the difference between life and death. His eyes narrow as he studies the battle plan laid out before him. His gut tells him that the Empire will be expecting an attack from the outer atmosphere, and they'll be prepared. They'll need the element of surprise. No, the commander says with a calm but firm voice. We take the direct approach. We'll come in low, break through their defenses fast, and hit them hard. We won't give them a chance to react. The AI soldier hesitates for a moment, but then nods, accepting the commander's decision. The human forces trust their commander, and they understand that in battle, not everything can be predicted or planned. Sometimes, you have to rely on gut instincts, and the commander's instincts have kept them alive so far. The fleet, ready and waiting, begins to move into position. Every warship is cloaked, its sleek form nearly invisible against the backdrop of space. The silence is deafening as they approach the Empire's flagship, the heart of the Empire's military might. The ships glide through the black void, their cloaking devices rendering them invisible to any enemy sensors. The tension in the command center builds, every eye focused on the mission's final stages. The fleet is on the cusp of attacking the most heavily fortified planet the Empire has ever built. But just as the fleet closes in on their target, a sudden, alarming warning flashes on the radar. The system blares a harsh signal, cutting through the silence like a knife. The commander's eyes snap to the screen. A single message appears in red letters. Orbital bombardment system activated. His blood runs cold. The Empire, always prepared for any threat, has anticipated this attack. They had prepared a countermeasure that is unlike anything the humans have ever seen, a planetary defense system capable of wiping out entire cities with a single strike. The system is designed to deter any invasion of their heavily fortified world, and it's powerful enough to obliterate a fleet of warships in seconds. The commander's mind races. He knows that if they don't act fast, they'll be sitting ducks, vulnerable to an attack that could destroy everything they've worked for. But there's no time to change course now. The attack must go on, and the consequences of failure are unimaginable. Get ready. The commander barks, his voice cutting through the tension in the air. We have one shot at this. We'll disable the orbital bombardment system first, then take out their planetary defenses. No hesitation, no retreat. His words ring with authority, and the soldiers, AI soldiers, and crew members respond instantly, each one ready to follow their commander to the end. The fleet is now only moments away from entering the atmosphere. The warships begin their final approach, their engines humming as they prepare for the most dangerous assault humanity has ever undertaken. The tension is unbearable. The soldiers know that they are walking into the jaws of hell, that the odds are stacked against them in ways they cannot even begin to comprehend. But they are also fueled by something more powerful than fear, revenge. They are driven by the need to right a wrong that has lingered for far too long. They are fighting for the child, for every innocent victim of the Empire's cruelty, and for the future of humanity itself. As the warships close in on their target, the commander's thoughts shift back to the child, the innocent soul whose suffering has ignited this war. The image of the child's face, twisted in agony, is burned into his memory. He cannot allow that pain to be in vain. They must succeed. There is no other option. The final preparations are made. Weapons are primed, shields are raised, and the fleet is ready. The soldiers brace themselves for the oncoming assault, knowing that this will be a battle like no other. They will face the full force of the Empire's defenses, and only the strongest will survive. The clock is ticking. The final phase of the mission is here. And as the fleet prepares to strike, the fate of the child and the future of humanity rests in their hands. The battle for vengeance is about to begin, and there will be no mercy for the Empire. The assault begins with a deafening roar, the hum of engines, and the flash of weapons lighting up the vast expanse of space. Earth's fleet, cloaked and invisible to the Empire's sensors, slips past the outer defenses of the heavily fortified planet. The human forces, a mix of experienced soldiers and advanced technology, move with precision. They have one goal in mind: to avenge the countless victims of the Empire and to rescue the child who has been tortured. But as they close in on their target, the calm they've relied on for the past few minutes quickly dissipates. The moment the human fleet enters the Empire's defensive range, all hell breaks loose. The Empire had expected an attack, but not this fast, not this overwhelming. Despite the human fleet's cloaking technology, the Empire's forces are quick to react. Swarms of advanced alien fighters, sleek and deadly, emerge from the shadows, engaging the human ships with relentless fury. The cold void of space becomes a battleground, filled with flashing lasers, missile strikes, and ships darting across the dark expanse like moths in a flame. The human fleet fights back with everything it has. The warships unleash their own firepower, sending streams of energy blasts and missiles toward the alien attackers. Each shot is a calculated risk, each maneuver a desperate attempt to outsmart the Empire's superior technology. Explosions light up the dark sky, turning the void into a chaotic dance of destruction. Starships explode into brilliant fireballs, their remnants scattering like ashes across the cosmos. In the midst of this chaos, the human soldiers fight with a ferocity born of desperation and the desire for justice. They know that their survival depends on their ability to adapt and overcome the Empire's vast technological superiority. And yet, despite their best efforts, the battle rages on, with the odds growing ever higher against them. One of the team's key soldiers, Bonner, a seasoned warrior known for his bravery and quick thinking, finds himself at the front lines. He's always been willing to put himself in harm's way for the good of the mission. But today, the stakes are higher than ever. Bonner's ship is engaged in a brutal dogfight with an enemy warship, its AI-controlled systems working at full capacity to predict his every move. But Bonner is faster, more unpredictable. He pulls off an incredible maneuver, dodging incoming fire as he closes the distance between his ship and the enemy warship. With a steady hand, Bonner fires a powerful shot directly at the heart of the enemy ship. The warship shudders, sparks flying as its hull is breached. But Bonner's ship takes heavy fire in the process. A blast hits the control room, and Bonner is thrown from his seat. His ship begins to spiral out of control, but Bonner refuses to give up. With what little control he has left, he drives his ship into the enemy warship, sending it into a catastrophic explosion. The blast is a brilliant burst of light, illuminating the battlefield for a split second. But the cost is high. Bonner's sacrifice has saved his comrades, but he won't make it out alive. His death is a gut-wrenching moment for the team. The soldiers who had fought beside him, trained with him, and bled with him, now must fight without him. The loss of Bonner hits everyone hard, but especially the commander, the mother who had led the fleet, and the rest of the soldiers. Bonner's bravery serves as a catalyst for the team, pushing them to fight even harder. They cannot let his death be in vain. As Bonner's ship burns up in space, the mother grits her teeth, her fists clenched in rage. She turns to her team, her voice filled with a mixture of sorrow and determination. "We'll finish this for him. We'll finish this for everyone they've taken from us." The commander's words resonate deeply within the hearts of the soldiers. Bonner's death, while tragic, has sparked something inside them. A fire, a renewed sense of purpose. They are no longer just fighting for survival. They are fighting for justice, for their fallen comrades, and for the child whose cries still haunt them. The battle intensifies as they push forward, now more determined than ever. As the human forces press on toward the Empire's fortress, they face more than just swarms of alien fighters. The Empire, knowing that they've underestimated humanity, has unleashed their ultimate weapon, an AI-controlled superweapon capable of obliterating entire planets. The sheer scale of this weapon is beyond anything the human forces have ever encountered. The superweapon is a towering structure, its massive engines crackling with energy as it powers up. The humans can see it now, looming in the distance, its presence both terrifying and awe-inspiring. The AI that controls it is unlike anything they've ever encountered. It's a hyper-intelligent system, capable of calculating countless variables in real time, predicting every move the humans make. The human fleet, now closing in on the Empire's last line of defense, must face not only the Empire's soldiers, but also the terrifying might of this AI. "Get us closer," the commander orders, his voice steady despite the overwhelming odds. "We can't let them get the chance to fire. We have to disable it before it launches." But the AI's response is swift. It anticipates the human fleet's movement and activates its planetary defense systems, sending waves of energy blasts toward the incoming ships. The human fleet's cloaking technology helps them evade some of the blasts, but they can't avoid them all. A few ships take direct hits, their shields failing as they plummet toward the planet below, their destruction imminent. The commander watches in horror as his soldiers fight tooth and nail against an enemy they can barely see. The AI superweapon, with its incredible intelligence and power, is unlike anything they've ever fought before. It moves with cold precision, calculating the humans' every move and countering them in ways they can't predict. It's not just a weapon. It's a sentient force of destruction, and it's determined to wipe them out. But the humans aren't ready to give up. They have something that the Empire and its AI don't: the will to fight, the heart to continue. The commander's resolve is ironclad, and he pushes his fleet forward, even as the superweapon prepares to launch its devastating blow. The battle has reached its most critical point, and the fate of humanity hangs in the balance. The fight for survival is now more than just a battle for victory. It's a fight for the soul of humanity. As the superweapon prepares to unleash its devastating power, the humans must overcome not just the Empire's military might, but also the cold, calculating force of AI itself. The stakes have never been higher, and the outcome of this battle will determine whether humanity lives or dies. The fate of the universe now lies in the hands of the human soldiers. The Empire has unleashed its ultimate weapon, but humanity's spirit remains unbroken. The human fleet has successfully broken through the Empire's outer defenses, and now the real battle begins. Their final objective: infiltrate the heart of the Empire's flagship and confront the forces responsible for the cruelty and devastation. The air inside the flagship is heavy with the scent of metal, oil, and the underlying tension of impending violence. The once pristine corridors of the flagship are now filled with the sounds of boots on cold steel floors and the distant hum of energy weapons charging. The soldiers move silently, their cloaking devices allowing them to slip past enemy patrols, but they know it won't last forever. Soon, the alarms will sound, and the battle will be fought in the heart of the Empire's domain. At the forefront of the mission is the Mother, the leader of this special task force. Her mind is sharp, focused on the task at hand, but her heart is heavy with the weight of what's at stake. Her son is still alive, though barely, and the sight of his bruised and bloodied face, shown on a monitor earlier, is a constant reminder of why she's fighting. The child's injuries were horrifying, but the knowledge that he is still breathing drives her forward with a new sense of purpose. She can't afford to falter now, not when she's so close to rescuing him. As they move deeper into the Empire's flagship, the soldiers encounter increasingly intense resistance. The Empire had prepared for this moment, and they're not going down without a fight. The ship's corridors, once eerily quiet, now echo with the sounds of footsteps and distant orders. Ahead, in the dim lighting, a squad of elite Imperial soldiers appears, their robotic exoskeletons gleaming in the low light. These soldiers are the Empire's finest, heavily armored, heavily armed, and completely devoid of mercy. They are machines built for one thing: destruction. The human team is ready. They've trained for moments like this, but nothing could prepare them for the sheer brutality of the combat that follows. The soldiers move quickly, using their cloaking devices to their advantage. But soon, the Empire's AI systems catch on, and the alarms begin to blare. The battle erupts in an instant. The first few seconds are a blur of motion, with the human soldiers striking swiftly and efficiently. Blades clash, guns fire, and energy shields flicker in and out as the two sides clash in a deadly dance. The human soldiers are a force to be reckoned with, but the Empire's advanced technology and the AI soldiers they face are relentless. The battle quickly shifts from long-range firefights to brutal, up-close combat. A soldier leaps forward, tackling one of the AI soldiers to the ground, only to be met with a vicious counterattack. Another soldier charges into a group of enemy combatants, his knife flashing as he disables one of the Imperial robots. But for every enemy they take down, two more seem to appear, and the human soldiers begin to feel the weight of the fight. The Mother, now at the front of the assault, faces the most dangerous challenge of all. She's determined to get to her son, to end the Empire's reign of terror once and for all, but her path is blocked by the Empire's commander, a towering figure clad in black armor, his face hidden behind a mask of cold indifference. He is the leader of the Empire's forces, the one responsible for the suffering and destruction. And now he stands between the Mother and her son. Their eyes meet across the battlefield, and in that moment, a cold fury builds within her. She's seen the horrors the Empire has wrought, but none of that compares to the pain she feels as she looks into the eyes of the man who has tortured her son. The air around them crackles with tension as they both prepare for the inevitable clash. The commander steps forward, his weapon already drawn, and the Mother raises her own blade. The fight is about to begin. What follows is a brutal, heart-pounding showdown. The commander is powerful, his movements precise and calculated. He's no ordinary soldier. He's the pinnacle of the Empire's martial prowess, a master of combat. But the mother is driven by something far more powerful than anything the commander can understand: love. She fights with a fury that comes from the depths of her heart, each strike fueled by the desire to protect her son and to avenge the countless lives lost to the Empire's cruelty. The battle rages on, each of them pushing their limits. The commander's strength and skill are undeniable, but the mother's determination is even greater. She moves with a grace that belies her anger, her strikes landing with precision, as she gradually gains the upper hand. The commander, once so confident in his abilities, begins to falter as the mother presses on, refusing to give him even a moment to recover. Just as the commander seems to find an opening, the mother delivers a decisive blow, her blade cutting through his armor with a force that surprises even her. The commander stumbles back, his eyes wide in shock as he realizes that he has underestimated her. But before he can react, the mother steps forward, delivering the final strike that brings him to his knees. The Empire's commander falls, his reign of terror finally at an end. As the commander collapses to the ground, the mother's heart races with a mix of triumph and relief. She has avenged her son's suffering, and the Empire's cruelty has been brought to an end. But the battle is far from over. There is still one last obstacle to overcome: the rescue of the child. The mother turns and rushes toward the control room, where the child is being held. She's so close now, she can almost feel his presence. As she bursts into the room, her heart skips a beat when she sees her son, bruised and bloodied, but alive. His face lights up with recognition as he sees his mother, and for a moment, the horrors of the past few hours seem to fade away. The child is still weak, but he's alive, and that's all that matters. The mother rushes to his side, gently lifting him into her arms. Tears well up in her eyes as she holds him close, feeling the weight of the past few days lifting off her shoulders. She's brought him back, and now nothing else matters. The Empire's dark reign has ended, and with it, the hope for a better future for all. But as they make their way out of the flagship, the mother knows that the fight is far from over. The Empire may have been defeated, but the universe is still a dangerous place, and as long as there are threats to humanity, she will continue to fight. For her son, for the fallen soldiers, and for the future of humanity. The battle may have been won, but the war is far from over. The mother's journey is just beginning. As the final battle rages on, the human forces find themselves face to face with the Empire's elite troops. The battlefield is a chaotic swirl of combat, laser fire, explosions, and the cries of warriors as they fight for their lives. But amidst the fury of the assault, there is one final confrontation that will determine the fate of the galaxy: the human fleet's leader against the Empire's commander. The tension in the air is almost suffocating as the two commanders lock eyes, sizing each other up. The fate of humanity, and of the entire galaxy, hangs in the balance. The battlefield seems to fall away, leaving only the two leaders, poised for the ultimate showdown. The human fleet leader, a towering figure of strength and resolve, steps forward with purpose. His heart is heavy with the weight of the lives lost, the soldiers who sacrificed everything for this moment. But there is no time for hesitation. The commander of the Empire, a cruel and calculating figure, stands ready, his eyes cold and unwavering. His armor gleams in the dim light, and his weapon hums with deadly energy. The two commanders meet in the heart of the Empire's flagship, their weapons clashing in a shower of sparks. The sound of metal on metal fills the air as the fight begins in earnest. The human leader moves with precision and power, each strike a reflection of the pain and determination that has driven him throughout the war. He's no stranger to battle, and he knows that this fight will require every ounce of strength and skill he has. The Empire's commander is no less formidable, his movements fluid and calculated, his weapon a blur of deadly force. The two clash again and again, the intensity of their battle growing with each passing second. The fight is brutal and unrelenting. The human leader's strikes are fueled by the memories of the fallen, his comrades, the soldiers who gave everything to stop the Empire's reign of terror. He channels their sacrifices into every blow, his fury building with each parry and counterattack. The Empire's commander, however, remains calm and focused, his strikes precise and efficient. But even he can sense that something is different this time. The human's resolve is unbreakable, and with each moment, the commander finds himself losing ground. Finally, after what seems like an eternity, the human leader lands a decisive blow. The Empire's commander stumbles back, his weapon slipping from his grasp as he collapses to the ground. The once proud leader of the Empire lies defeated, his reign of terror finally coming to an end. The human leader stands over him, breath heavy, heart racing. He's won, but the cost has been steep. Lives have been lost, and the scars of the battle will remain for years to come. But in this moment, victory is theirs. The human fleet's final assault is swift and decisive. With the Empire's commander defeated, the remaining Imperial forces crumble under the weight of the human assault. The fleet, emboldened by their leader's victory, launches their final strike at the Empire's flagship. The massive vessel, once a symbol of power and oppression, is now a target. The human fleet's weapons lock onto the flagship, and in one final devastating blow, the Empire's stronghold is obliterated. The explosion shakes the very fabric of space itself, a brilliant burst of light and fire that signals the end of the Galactic Empire. But for the mother, the battle is far from over. Her son is still in the hands of the Empire's forces, and she will stop at nothing to bring him home. As the flagship burns, she races toward the control room where her child is being held. The corridors are littered with the wreckage of battle, and the air is thick with the acrid scent of burning metal. She moves quickly, her heart pounding in her chest. Every second counts. She knows that her son is still alive, but he's in danger. She can't let the Empire win this final victory. Not when she's so close to rescuing him. When she finally reaches the control room, her breath catches in her throat. There, on a monitor, is the image of her son, bruised but alive. Relief floods through her, but there's no time to waste. She rushes to the child's side, her arms wrapping around him, as she lifts him from the cold, sterile table where he had been held captive. His small body is weak, but he's alive. Tears of relief and joy fill her eyes as she holds him close, feeling the warmth of his body against hers. He's safe now. As she turns to leave the control room, she hears the sounds of battle fading into the distance. The Empire's forces are retreating, and the human fleet is securing victory. The Empire's dark reign is over, and humanity has shown the galaxy that they will never be enslaved. The human spirit is stronger than any force in the universe, and now everyone will know that humanity can fight back against any tyranny. With her son safely in her arms, the mother returns to Earth, where she is hailed as a hero. The human forces, though weary and scarred from the battle, celebrate their hard-earned victory. The loss of so many brave souls weighs heavily on their hearts, but they know that the war was necessary. The message has been sent. Humanity will not bow to any empire, no matter how powerful. The Empire may have once thought they could conquer the galaxy, but they underestimated the strength and resilience of the human race. As the human forces return to Earth, the celebrations are filled with both joy and sorrow. The victory is bittersweet, as they mourn the loss of their fallen comrades. But the message is clear. Humanity will never be enslaved, and it will always fight back when pushed too far. The universe will now know the strength of the human spirit, and those who thought they could crush Earth will think twice before ever challenging humanity again. The war may be over, but the battle for humanity's future has only just begun. The mother, her son safe in her arms, looks to the horizon, knowing that this victory is just the beginning. There will always be threats to Earth, but now, humanity is stronger than ever. The fight may never truly end, but with each victory, humanity grows more united and resolute. They've shown the galaxy that they will never be defeated, and with that knowledge, they will continue to fight for their future, their freedom, and their place in the universe.